Well, I'm black now. So the first thing I did was quit all my jobs. I don't know how I'm supposed to pay the bills. Probably have to start selling crack.
It is known in the black community that most, not all, but most black people are racist toward white Americans.
You say it's known. What do you mean? Where's your basis for that?
They have been brainwashed over the last 50 years or so to believe that America is a racist society and that white folks are trying to hold them back.
So black people are supposed to believe that requiring a voter ID is racist? I smell something and it ain't cookies. Let me tell you this. Democrats want black people to believe that requiring a voter ID is racist because, like always, they use us as cover for the people that they are really focused on, which are illegal immigrants. That's right. They want as many illegals voting as possible, and there is documented proof that when voter ID is required at the polling place, illegals are afraid to go.
I kind of was attracted to a darker skin color.
Say that again. What kind of skin color was you attracted to?
Darker skin.
Black man, we win again. We are the creed. We are the superheroes of the earth.
You know, I've seen a lot of videos recently talking about like black erasure and of what some of the Republicans have been doing and how they've been destroying black people more than what's been currently been happening in the last few years or so regarding, like, you know, black culture, black history. And I had a friend that was telling me about this, and he said that, yeah, because I asked him, because I said, is there any like teachings that's going on in schools currently? And he told me, he said there was no teachings at all in February, even though we all agree that February is basically bullshit, because it's like, why would you sit there and say in the shortest month ever, oh, here's Black History Month, when as Morgan Freeman said, like, black history is America's history because it's happened in America and shit like that. So why delegate it to like a month when it's bullshit, when it's basically history itself where everybody's supposed to be learning about this, not delegated it into a month. But when he told me about this, and he said that they didn't even teach like his kid nothing, like they didn't say nothing about no black history, because when he talked about, you know, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and he was like, who are these people? And that's like, they're not teaching this stuff. Oh no, this is a problem. This is a problem that's going on right now in the community, because again, like, they're supposed to be learning and they're supposed to be taught this, because if you have people out there who has been in charge for such a long time and have been constantly ruining like black homes and basically the program started like decades way before any of us was like alive, like going back to when our parents and even our great grandparents who had to deal with all of that systemic racism and all that stuff that they had to deal with back then, is still applying till this day. But now it's more of them cleaning up the job. Well, no, let me not say that, not cleaning up the job, but more like sweeping up like the rest of the dirt, that what they consider us, like they sweeping up the rest of the dirt and putting us into a trash can, and like, all right, we're gonna finish the work off because basically the job is already done. Because when you think about it, we had our own Black Wall Street. White people got upset and burnt that down. They said, oh, we don't need them to be smart and intelligent, get rid of it. Then they added in the whole welfare business back in the 60s, where they said, well, we don't want no men in their home. So it's like, as they get welfare and they get the money and shit like that, that's when black women was like, well, we already get money from the government, you know, we don't really need they man. And they was sort of like putting that notion into their mind, like black women are strong, they don't need no man and shit like that. And then when you had that happen, and then when you had prison culture that also infected the community, where, okay, you know, people have their pants put on between their ankles, and then that's when the prison culture sort of adopted into like that lifestyle. And then when the music changed as well, it was, in a way, it was like, this is what we really wanted. Because here's how their plan really worked. We are not going to keep doing how they did before with the whole pitchforks and lynching. That was all in the past, right? That was all in the past. But then somebody decided to say, let's come up with something smarter. Let's just destroy them from the inside and from within. And then now when you look at it, most black people aren't really sticking together like that, right? Most black people is really like fighting against each other. It's more of the whole I got mine, you got to get yours, instead of everybody helping each other out. Because I know that they have like Juneteenth and there's like other like black parades that's out there. That's fine and all, but I think that if black people as a whole was to like band together, like how when Malcolm X was getting really close on doing something back in the days, he was getting real close, but as we all know, they had to get rid of him because he was becoming too powerful, and he was on a legendary run of changing black people forever. Like he was going to change everything forever, but they had to get rid of him because he was too powerful. And then as when they were slowly getting rid of our black leaders and even corrupting some of our black figures, that's who is out there, right? It sort of just broke things down. It broke things down. So now you look at it and black people is not looking good. And most people is not really speaking up about this and saying like, okay, black erasure is a thing. And they just kind of finishing up the job. Like they're like, all right, we've already done what we needed to do. Let's just finish these group of people off, and then we're gonna focus on the next thing, because they don't really see us as a threat anymore. They just getting rid of things as they seems, because they're like, we've already done so much destruction to these people. We're just gonna start erasing more and more things. So then I guess in the next generation or so, black people is not even gonna know nothing about what happened to slavery, what happened to them in slavery, well, their ancestors. They're not going to know about that. They're not going to know about certain things because all of it's been erased. They basically taken everything away. So in a sense, you're dumbing down everything that happened, and you're sort of numbing the situation. And regarding with the whole reparations and the stuff that happened during slavery, is all of that stuff is being buried and being pushed to the side because it's like, it's not important. And I trying to drill that into a lot of black people's heads, like that wasn't important. What your ancestors, your great grandparents, and your parents had to go through, listen, that meant nothing, and basically it never happened. It's almost as if they're trying to perform the devil's greatest trick on, making the world forget that he ever existed. But in a sense, it's more like we're gonna make sure that all of the black people's struggles and their grandparents and their ancestors struggle, making sure like it never existed, like it never happened, and we're gonna try to sweep it underneath the rug like it didn't happen. But for some black people out there, they got the lights on. So they know what the fuck's going on. They got the lights on, and they remembering, and they starting to wake up. Some of them, not all of them, it's starting to wake up, and they're like, wait, this is some bullshit, right? You got those section of people which I can respect, and I can go, okay, good. And then you still have a lot of people out there who are still like champions for like black people and trying to help uplift black people and trying to have like these groups in these communities so that way they can keep certain things strong. That's fine. Absolutely, that is fine. But I feel like we need more. And then you have some people out there who's on YouTube. I would consider them to be like black scholars because they are speaking the truth about what's been going on currently. But here's the thing though. Are they only out to basically use like the black community? Because I've been seeing like few top YouTubers out there who's been talking about like, the black struggles and this and that, which is fine. And they are educating a lot of black people out there, which is fine. But you have to come to a realization that it's good that they're doing this, but are they really exploiting the problem just to make money off of this? They know that there's problems out there, but if there was ever an opportunity to fix the problem, would they just remain a scholar and talk about it? Or will they actually step out and be about it and be a soldier? Because there is a way that you can actually fix the black community. Oh, there's a way. I'm not going to say it on YouTube, but there's definitely like a way that you can actually fix the black community, and you can actually bring everybody together and you can fix the problem. Oh, there is a way you can fix like, it's not too late. It's not too late. Like, there is literally a way to fix the problem and make sure that everybody's on board and on code. But the thing is, it would take quite some time. I would say that it would take quite some time to get everybody on board. So then that way you can fix the problem, because it can be fixed. Oh, it can be, but it's just that you got to know some peoples. You got to trust the right amount of peoples, right? Because not everybody is going to be on board with this decision and on board with the plan. So it's just like, oh, the situation can be fixed, but it's just that, you have to make sure you trust certain peoples and make sure those said peoples don't betray you, because it has happened in history where, you thought you could trust somebody, they went back and told whoever, and next thing you know, everybody else is getting hung and lynched and shit like that, because it happened during slavery. It happened during previous times in history where certain rebellious groups was about to do something, somebody within that camp told, and everybody got destroyed and shit like that. But I'm telling you, it's just that as a whole, as a whole right now, in terms of black people, like I said, the situation can be fixed, right? But I think that if things go down the way it is currently, I don't know. I think black people, it might be finished. It might be finished because you don't really see a lot of people out there banding together and talking about this situation. You don't really see not that many people talking about it. And like I said, you have people out there who's constantly exploiting the black community just to make money. You have a lot of people out there who's doing that, and you like, what the fuck? Like, hold up here, you supposed to be on our side. What are you talking about? Nah, man, I'm just out here to make money. Fuck you. I got a family to support. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck about the community. You have a lot of people that's out there. Even people that you would look up and you wouldn't expect them to do that. They actually doing that shit. And it's just like, nah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up beyond repair. Of how you would sit there and you would turn on your own person, your own black person, the person that you supposed to be in the trenches with. You turn on them and you say no because I want $1 and shit like that, and you constantly screwing over your own people. So this is why, as a society, as a community, I don't know, I feel like the black community and then black people as a whole, I think it might be finished. I think we've been cooked for generations. It's not like none of this stuff is new, but I think going into the future, oh no, I think it's pretty much finished. Now, I'm not saying that people should give up. Hell fucking no. Hell no. I don't think you should give up on that shit. But I think that if we don't have a plan to fix this, oh yeah, of course, it's fucking finished. It's fucking finished. Like, if there's no legit plan to go like, wait, hold up here, they're erasing black history and black culture. They trying to make sure that this shit never happened or it never existed, and dumbing down black people even further. Oh hell no. And the thing is, the people who've been orchestrating this plan, they know what the fucking goal is. They know what this is, because they like, all right, we fucked them over in the school system. We fucked them over in literature. We know how we can get them to be so stupid that when it comes down to certain events, they're going to vote a certain way. They're going to think a certain way because we programmed them to think a certain way. We programmed them to act this way because we've already destroyed their communities. We made sure that they turned against each other. We made sure that they women even hate them. And these people are so geniuses of what they did. It's just that not that many people are smart enough to wake up and realize that this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. And it's like, you allowed them to infiltrate your communities. You had these people who say that they was your friends, but they was really your enemies. These are the people that are sheep's and wolves clothing. These are the same people who are two-faced devils who have a knife under their coat and ready to stab you when you're sleeping. That's what I'm saying. It's just that it's crazy. It is fucking crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. As a society, black people might be finished. It might be finished. And as I'm seeing all these top YouTubers who talking about these events, like I said, it's great things that they are. I consider them to be black scholars, but at the end of the day, if I don't see if they just talking about it and they not gonna, be about it and actually, form some sort of plan, it's like, come on. Like, you can't have people out there who got ideas and plans and know how to fix the system, and they just chilling. Now, I get it, because, they might be afraid of, certain events that could happen to them, which is fine. But this is why I'm saying it's like, you gather, like, the right people. Like, you get everybody that's in your circle to, like, form together, and make the shit quiet. But I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm just talking. But let me know in the comment section down below. Like, do you believe that black people, I think, is finished? Or do you believe that there's a way that it can be fixed? Now, also, too, lastly, before I get out of here, when it comes down to, like, both sides of the party, between, like, Democrat or Republican, I would say this. You would have to choose, because both is terrible. Both is terrible, right? And they both done wrong throughout the years. But at the end of the day, it would have to be on what would you choose? Who would you choose? Because Lincoln was a Republican. He was the first Republican, and he was going to give black people reparations, but then he got assassinated, and that never happened. And you will look at it in a way like, technically, Republicans owe black people reparations. You can look at it that way. You can say, well, technically they owe us reparations. Republicans, where's the money at? But they not talking about that. They just talking about other things that doesn't matter and is not important. But But yeah, like I said, let me know in the comment section down below, like, what do you guys think? Do you believe the black community is cooked and it's finished, or do you believe that there's a way that it could be fixed? Because I'm telling you, I know the way. I know the way that it could be fixed. It would take some time, but I know the way that how it could be fixed. Because I was thinking about how the plan and how you can move and orchestrate this shit. That shit would be effective. It would be, oh my God, it would be effective. But it's just, oh boy, I don't know. I don't know, but like, comment, subscribe, and share. Catch you all in the next one.